Breaking tonight, President Trump will be heading over to Capitol Hill shortly. And earlier today, I had a chance to sit down exclusively with one of the main men who will help push the president's agenda through Congress. In fact, he may be the most important one, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. We discussed the goals moving forward, including what to do about Obamacare. Watch. We heard President Trump in the CPAC speech the other day say that the time of empty talk is over, and this is the era of action. Do you agree with him?
I do. I do. You know, everybody talked about last year's election as being a change election. Actually, it wasn't for Congress. The American people re-elected a Republican Senate, a Republican House, and gave us a president who will sign our agenda. And I really like what the president's doing. I think the cabinet appointments have been terrific. The Supreme Court nomination, truly outstanding. He's beginning to move on deregulating an overregulated America. And, of course, we're going to fix the health care system and do comprehensive tax reform. All of that stuff would amount to an incredibly successful Congress. And we're excited about having somebody who will sign into law the things that we've been advocating for years.
So you sat down with him yesterday at the White House, you and Speaker Ryan. What was your sense of what is his top priority of the things you just mentioned?
Well, first we're going to move with fixing health care, you know, repealing and replacing Obamacare. But in the meantime, we're also taking regulations that have overregulated the economy off the books, both through his own actions and other actions that we can initiate that he can sign.
Did he express any frustration that there isn't a repeal plan ready to go from Republicans? Because there's frustration out there on that.
No, I don't think so. You know, this is hard. This is not easy. We're working together with the administration and the House to come up with something that we think will replace Obamacare.
But you have constituents out there and Republicans across the country who say you had 7 years to think about this.
But we didn't have a presidential...
Out in the wilderness to come up with your plan while there wasn't a whole lot going on, frankly. So why did you not come to the table with now that you have that president in place and say, here we go, Mr. President, here's the plan?
I don't think this is taking a whole lot of time. You know, this is the end of the second month of the administration. We couldn't have moved any quicker to address this issue than if all Republicans had agreed. Now we have a person who will sign whatever we pass into law. The president's decision on this is what gives us the way forward. It's not an exercise in futility anymore. We're shooting with real bullets. In other words, what we're going to do will actually become the law of the land.
Do you think tonight he should reach out to Democrats? Because you may need 10 Democrats to pass this new version of health care, whatever it ends up looking like. Do you want to hear that from him, and did he indicate that he will do that tonight?
I'd like to see an upbeat, optimistic address tonight. I think that would be more appealing to a broader number of Americans. The people who are protesting at home are active Democrats. They have a right to protest, no question about it, but they never voted for people like Donald Trump or Mitch McConnell in the first place. But there are numbers of independent voters and more open-minded Democrats who I think would like to see the country move forward. And to do that, they have to deal with a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican president.
And who's driving the process? Because when President Obama did it, he sort of left it up to Congress to formulate that plan, and he was criticized for that. So where's it coming from now, the White House or from Capitol Hill?
Well, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, under the law that was passed 8 years ago, has a lot of discretion. So we're working with the new Secretary, Tom Price, to stabilize the health insurance market. Some of the things he can do on his own, some will require legislation, but we're working hand in hand to come up with a better health care system than we have now, which is completely and totally unsustainable.
So do you feel like you can get the more conservative members of the Senate and the House eventually on the same page with that?
Well, here's the deal. You're either for what the president will sign or you're for the status quo. And I don't think there are many Republicans who think we were sent here on Obamacare for the status quo. And the only way the status quo will ever change is with a presidential signature. So the arbiter of this debate is the President of the United States and his team. They will tell us what they're for. And if we want to change the status quo, that's what we'll have to be for.
Senator McConnell, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.